A lot of people are scared that AI is going to take their jobs and it's going to make everything harder, and maybe our industry within sales training is going to get replaced. It's just not true, right? Instead, we want to find ways that AI can actually help optimize each stage of our process.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the SalesHood webinar today on reimagining sales training with our amazing partner, ASLAN. And we've got the one and only Jesse Rome here with you today. Boom, let's get going.
Let's have some fun. Let's show them a good time.
My name is Elay Cohen, and I'm the CEO of SalesHood. And we have a jam-packed agenda today. Can't wait to walk you through what Jesse and his team and his organization is world class. So let me just take a moment and just say, for those of you that are less familiar with SalesHood, SalesHood is a sales enablement platform. We are an AI-driven sales enablement platform. We're all about activating content. And how do we do it? We help our companies ramp readiness, personalize buyer engagement, and measure impact. And you know what? AI is the ultimate in driving the efficiency and effectiveness gains that we're seeing in our customers today. Companies like Copado and Smart Recruiters, Frontline Education, and so many more. They're realizing tremendous efficiency gains, and I can talk about win rate improvements anywhere from 50 to 200%. It's incredible, and this is an AI revolution. And we are so lucky today to have Jesse with us, because Jesse is on the forefront of this AI revolution. And we love our partnership with ASLAN. And ASLAN is one of the leading sales training companies out there. It's incredible, their methodology. It's incredible what they're doing. And Tom, their CEO, is a visionary when it comes to helping organizations truly drive the outcomes they're trying to drive with their buyers, with their customers. It's incredible. And together, SalesHood and ASLAN are reimagining sales training. And Jesse is no stranger to sales enablement, no stranger to sales training. He's in Chicago right now, and he's on site, which I love. I love it. And Jesse, why don't you take a moment, introduce yourself before we dig into the content?
Yeah, great intro. Appreciate you having me on here, Eli. Been an incredible partner so far. So Jesse Rome, what's going on? Live from Chicago, but I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I talk like an East Coaster because I'm from DC. So I'm the VP of training and solution over here at ASLAN. So we manage a lot of global clients where we work with consulting all over the world, all over the country, large clients such as Zillow, HubSpot, Nationwide, Merck. And our sole goal is to help people overcome unreceptive buyers. How can we elevate people's sales skills and truly make them trusted partners? Because selling is hard and people have so many options out there. They're looking for a true partner. And so we help them, enhance their relationships and give them a set of capabilities. So really excited about this partnership. We've been on a 12-month journey to find the right partner, the sales enablement partner. We have found that with SalesHood. We are now really reimagining what sales reinforcement and sustainment looks like, leveraging AI, and excited to dive into it.
Yeah, listen, we'll get right into it. So folks, here's what we're going to be covering today. We're really lucky to have Jesse, and Jesse has rolled up his sleeves. My team and we've rolled up our sleeves, and yes, I love it. They're reimagining sales training and really transforming the world of sales training and sales effectiveness with their methodology and with SalesHood's, AI-driven sales enablement platform. But what I love about this is, Jesse's ahead of the game here. He's ahead of the curve. And so when Jesse told me some of the things he's doing and some of the impacts that his customers are already realizing with AI, I said, you got to tell the world. And so here we are. We're going to understand Jesse's strategy. We're going to understand the ASLAN strategy and how they are reimagining sales training. Then we're going to dig into some very specific use cases and skills and behaviors, because we want to get real with you. We want you to really understand how you can take AI and specifically, AI role playing and AI coaching and bring it to life with the skills and behaviors you're trying to change with your teams so you can grow your businesses and establish better relationships with your customers. And then, you know what? Boom. Jesse said he's going to give us a quick demo, so we're going to see it in action. And then along the way, we're going to share lessons learned and tips And really, we're here to support you on your journeys. We're here to support you on your journeys. And Jesse, what did I miss? Is that the agenda? Sounds good, right?
Jam packed. Let's dive in.
Let's
Jam
dive
packed.
in. So why don't you, Jesse, tell us a little bit about, kind of your strategy. How do you think about the marriage between Aslan and all your great content and AI? What's your strategy?
Yeah, so we struggled with this a lot because a lot of people are scared that AI is going to take their jobs and it's going to make everything harder, and maybe our industry within sales training is going to get replaced. It's just not true, right? Instead, we want to find ways that AI can actually help optimize each stage of our process. And so before we do any sort of client engagement, of course, there's marketing and messaging that AI can help you with, and of course, there's sales processes where we're actually offering free assessments, and so like AI can help us do some of those assessments. But our engagement strategy is always about kind of how do we prepare and customize the content? How do
Hmm.
we ignite the experience, the learning, and how do we transform the sustainment and the reinforcement? And so we've found ways to implement AI at each stage with prepare. Again, it's all about like this sort of assessment. It's helping us instead of having to go out in the field and do field assessments and listen to a million calls, AI can optimize that process. And when you're doing a facilitation, you're always trying to find new ways to ignite them and create engagement. Well, we've actually brought AI into the workshop and we're gamifying it. Who can have the best talk track? Who can practice it the most? And so we're finding ways to have fun and really practice it and show people that AI isn't scary and it's actually
Yeah,
really easy to use. And I think that's a big hurdle. But the biggest one, and we're going to spend the next half hour talking about it, is really how AI is transforming reinforcement and sustainment.
I got
And
it.
so and so we're finding ways with knowledge checks and practice and coaching and go to market strategy, and just real reinforcement and sustainment, because real change does not happen in a workshop. It happens one to one, and your manager can't always be the one doing that one to one. You can now use AI as that one to one feedback tool. So that's just a little bit of
Yeah.
our strategy.
So you said at the beginning, you said, folks are afraid and we're here to help them not be afraid. And AI isn't here to take your job. It's here to kind of make you better, make you faster, make you more efficient. And you've got like a pretty big title. You're an ops person, you're a trainer, and you're actually in Chicago right now doing training. And so
Yeah.
it's amazing. So how has the AI role playing and introducing AI before, during, and after, how has it transformed your relationships with your customers?
I would say it's created longer lasting relationships already that are stickier. People used to put us in a box where it's like, hey, you do training, come out
Yeah,
for a couple of days, and then we'll take it from there. The reality is like they're gonna try to take it, but they don't have time. They have a million other competing priorities, and they don't always have the time to tap on my shoulder or pay me to come back over and over again. And so what it's done is it's created this bridge that I can be more engaged and be more involved with both on the rep level and the manager level, helping them out, but also like serving up real data that helps them. We
yeah,
often say like development is, driven by desire, but how do you measure desire? That's always been, the skill versus will debate in sales. Like, how do you measure desire? Well, with this tool, we finally have something to measure desire. And so that is like
wow.
really, really exciting to me.
No, it's great. It's great. And so, like you're an awesome trainer, right? You get in front of the room and you wow your learners, your students, your salespeople. And the cool thing is, from what I'm hearing you say is, when everyone leaves the event, your 2, 3 days of training, they almost have you with them every step of the way afterwards, right?
Mhm.
Because you can program the AI, you can train the AI to kind of follow the coaching and the guidance that you're giving them in person. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, and that's just the first 90 days, Eli. And I think that's the logical next step. That's the
Yeah.
easy part, is like, how do we sustain this? How do we make sure that we have knowledge checks? How do we make sure before somebody walks into a big presentation, they have somebody to talk with and practice with and get real feedback?
Yeah.
But the next phase is like, what does the rest of that year engagement look like? That's where we're unlocking new opportunities that we've never
Mm.
had before. And so some of the things that get me really excited is being more involved in their onboarding process, and being more involved in their go-to-market strategy as they release new products. And there's a lot of other touch points we are now having that don't cost them more money and that are scalable and that just like
Yeah.
happen naturally because we have the tool, we have the infrastructure, and we have the buy-in, frankly, from all the sales
Yeah.
team.
One of the big criticisms of sales training, and has always been, it doesn't really stick.
Mhm.
Folks, what's the stat like 70, 80, 90% of what you learn in the class you forget within 30 days. And so it feels like we
90% by the end of the week.
so
Exactly.
say that
Yep.
again. So tell me the
Not
stat.
it's 50% by the next day and 90% by the end of the week if there's no reinforcement.
And so you've cracked the code.
We are starting to crack the code. Yeah, I definitely feel
You're
that
being humble. You're being
we
humble, my friend.
our job is to fight and combat what is this kind of forgetting curve that is totally natural in any sort of adult learning. And so by having great training, right? And I'm pretty decent at it and got a large team across the world that's great at it too. That
Yeah.
is not enough. Real change does not happen in a classroom. It happens one to one. And so we're spending a lot of time certifying managers and coaching managers and upskilling managers, but then they don't have anything to help them. So they're just one person. And so finding like giving managers tools as well as the reps tools so that they don't forget it, but then having that tool to build on 3 to 6 months later that's relevant to their new key initiatives, because
Yeah.
a lot of trainings, it's not relevant for what I do, or that's just one situation, but what about these other 10 things I do? And so this
Wow.
tool can stay relevant.
Yeah, you're making it relevant, you're making it sticky, you're making it impactful, and you're keeping it going. It's not just a one-off training anymore. This is a
Mhm.
lifelong experience for the sales teams that you're training with your methodology. That's amazing. Wow.
It's
I
fun.
think so that's kind of the high level strategy in the use case. And I get it. And I hope folks are appreciating kind of the picture that Jesse is painting around how to take AI, integrate it, kind of activate your content with it and now and then kind of give it like a 12-month lifespan, right? I think it's the way you've articulated it and given us this visual, and you're going to show us, which is amazing. Let's go a little deeper. I think, and I want to understand Aslan a little bit more and specifically what are some of the skills and behaviors, like bring it to life for us, because I think folks are like thinking, I got this, I understand AI coaching, I understand AI role playing, but like how do I apply it, like what skills are actually relevant for me to take AI and bring it to life? Maybe you can give us some examples, Jesse.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. So just to tee up kind of what our training is based on other-centered selling. And so we are, from what I've seen, the most moral sales methodology out there that actually drives results,
Right.
and finds ways to convert unreceptive buyers and all different roles, and with selling without pressure. And so we do that in different stages and different skills and behaviors, such as how do you engage, how do you discover, how do you build value, how do you advance, all with the goal of really becoming a trusted partner. So to get super granular, very
Yeah.
specific, like how are we bringing the AI role play and this AI coach and feedback to life? Let's just take the example of a cold call, right?
Okay.
You have to make X amount of cold calls a week. I used to make 80 cold calls a day. It was a grind, and you're just getting hung up on, you're getting feedback, and maybe your manager listens to your calls or sits with you,
Yeah.
once a week. And so now you have a tool. I think people don't give cold calling enough credit. There are so many different levels to it. You have to like prepare the message, right? Like
Yeah.
what is my like elevator pitch or my intro message? But then you need to like also have the questions that you're going to ask if that goes well. But the likely scenario is none of that's going to go well. So you're going to have to handle objections. So those are really three different skills all built into one cold call. And so you need to simulate those situations and get feedback on each one of those three skills so that going into the next call, you feel ready for anything. And historically, we did what, like battle cards, flashcards, like
Yeah.
videos, LMS, like all that was good, but it wasn't interactive and it wasn't just in time and it never
Yeah.
felt real. And reps hate to role play, but they do love to be successful. And
And
so,
and are they even role playing? Right? Are they even practicing, or are they practicing with the customers and with the buyers themselves, right?
no, yeah,
They're
no,
not, right? They're not.
and there is something to like just get out there and fail fast and all those things that are true in life and in sales. But at the same time, you got a big call coming up, and like you got this person's cell phone number, and this first impression matters. They're only going to pick up your number once because the next call they're going to know who you are, right?
Yeah.
Like you got to get this right. So cold call is a great scenario. We have other scenarios such as like discover. I think
And,
people are
and
real.
and hold on, just before we leave, right? So cold call. So like I'm gonna hit the button, and I'm gonna go a little bit more detail. So how does the AI actually simulate it? Like, what's the experience like?
Yeah, well, there's two different ways, and we can show you kind of the two different types of AI
Yeah.
role play that we interact with. One is the AI coach, which is basically like our pitch practice, and that is like you talking to yourself, and the AI then like analyzes your tone, your pace, your messaging, your keywords, and it'll give you live feedback right after.
Boom.
And so I think that is so important for any sort of product rollout or any sort of training reinforcement. It's like you just learn these 5 things. Let's see if you can actually say it, not write it down, not tell me you learned it, not click through a bunch of answers till you get it right and tell your manager, but like practice it. The other one, which is even more fun, is the AI role play where you're really interacting back and forth and you create this persona and you tell them, how to be mean or be nice or give me this objection if I say this. And so I always try
Wow.
to build those in stages where I ensure that I like tell the rep, and prompt the rep, like lead with your messaging. And then I'll prompt the AI, give them an objection. So it'll make the rep handle that objection. And then I'll prompt the AI, if they do X, advance. If they don't, hang up basically on them. And if they do well, then they then have to ask some probing questions, some qualifying questions to qualify and get the appointment.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So the old way, you're in front of the room and you're teaching people how to handle cold calls, and maybe you've got like a printout or a card there, and then okay, they're doing their exercises and they're practicing a simulated call, and then you move on to the next skill, right? And then
Mhm.
and then they go back to the office and then they're looking for that piece of paper. Maybe their manager does a dry run with them, maybe, but then they're on the phone and you're hopeful. We're hoping. There's hope. And now the new way, like boom, they get all that and they do the practice and they do the in room, which is amazing, right? Because you want that. But now, before they pick up the phone or in the morning before they start their day, they're running these dry runs and they're getting feedback on their message, their tone, their sentiment, and then they're even having live simulated conversations. So now they're showing up to the call and they're pumped up, they're feeling confident, and you now have the level of confidence that they're conversationally ready is so much more higher. It's so much higher. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and I just go back to like the way we were raised in sales. I know there's different cultures, right? You got the cold calling culture where you have these call blocks, you have these war rooms where like let's all listen to you make a call. Let's all give you feedback on you making this call. And then you got the old school pharma people, and we'll run some of these trainings still. It'll be 100 people in a room, and they'll make 2 people stand up and do a role play in front of everybody. And
I
like
love it.
the reason for that is I want you to practice it, but what they don't estimate is like that creates embarrassment, and
Yeah,
embarrassment
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah.
necessarily produce the right. So what if we can get you to practice it? You can get live feedback. We can all calibrate on that but without the embarrassment. And
In
so
a
that's
safe place, right?
safe.
Because I could
Exactly.
practice and it's my own coach, and then I can decide when I want to pull in my manager or my team. I love that. You're scaling stand and deliver across a broad set of skills and behaviors that will ultimately make salespeople better. And
Yep.
more. That's amazing. And you're about to go into other skills. So listen, folks, let me just give some perspective. We're gonna get to the demo soon. I know everyone wants to see this in action. Like, show me. I want to see Aslan Plus, and I want to see this. So we'll get there. We're a few minutes away, but just give me some detail on what are some other skills. I get the cold calling. Does it work with like discovery questions? Does it work with presentations? How does it work with some other skills and behaviors?
Yeah, I would say the top four, scenarios that we'll kind of build out. One is the cold call. The second one is definitely discover. Most people always talk about, what questions to ask, but they don't train how to ask those questions,
Mm,
how to validate, how to clarify, how to have open-ended questions, how to dig deep to find the truth. So we'll build out scenarios where people will give generic answers, and we'll kind of really train people to like follow up till you get to the truth. But there's a lot of other scenarios. This isn't just for pre-sale. I want to make that really clear. It's also
yeah.
very much for account managers, people that are, their bread and butter is retention and growth and like defend, right? That defend model. And that's all about building value. And so building value can mean a lot of different things, but the way we try to prompt it is like, what did you learn on the last call, right? What did you learn on the last call? And then how should you kind of provide value based on what you learned on the last call? So that presentation skills, those QBR skills are relevant for pre or post sale. So we'll set up these prompts that are basically like, hey, here is what you learned on the last call. How would you have that presentation? And we'll still fill in some objection handling. We always want them to both engage them logically and emotionally. How do you drive
Mm,
success stories, proprietary benefits, we got a lot of good things incorporated in there that we
Yeah.
can dive into at a later time. But I think the top four are really about cold calling,
Yep.
discover, presentation skills, and objection handling. I think those are
Yeah.
the top four things that we're using AI for.
And most companies have 6 to 10 objections, so you can go super deep on the really, really, really great. Like clearly, hopefully everyone appreciates how excited I am about this new way of executing sales training. And Jesse, you too. We're geeking out. This is amazing.
We're geeking out, and clients are loving it, Eli. I mean, we are at the beginning of this thing.
So
We
tell us
launched
about
this.
that. So tell us. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
Well, we launched this thing 8 months ago. It's like 2025 is the year of like AI, like let's test this thing out. And so we're getting a lot of feedback that's highly engaging. I mean, I was seeing certain metrics of people logging in. I was like, I'm not sure they're liking it. And then 3 weeks later, it like tripled. And I'm like, what changed? It's like, well, what changed is you made one thing more specific to our business so that we could actually practice it. And one person said that it helped them get a deal. So now I want to do this to get it. And
Wow.
it's starting to multiply and multiply. So yeah, we can go into deeper of kind of lessons learned, what's working, but
So
that
I'd love
momentum is really exciting.
so just I think you guys have a broad set of customers, and I think folks tend to believe that AI and AI role playing is just for tech companies. Maybe like I know like we want respect privacy and all that, but like what kind of companies do you have that you're working with that are leaning into this AI for training and coaching?
Great question. So let's go through the clients. We have construction,
Yep.
manufacturing, insurance, um, pharmaceuticals, um, and medical device sales, logistics, and technology. So those are, I think, the
Well,
seven, yeah, seven
first
categories.
off, congrats to you and the team at ASLAN. You guys have such a great customer base and broad across a set of industries that go way beyond tech. And it's remarkable to see the impact that you're having. I know you shared some quotes. Any specific customer feedback that you've heard from some of your customers that have already leaned into the AI for training and coaching?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of really great early data on the momentum and the success. We had one VP said, I've been doing this, and he said, quote, for a very, very long time, and this is the best enablement tool I've ever seen. And so it's one thing for him to like it when he was presented it, but it's another thing for him to engage on it and actually assign different activities and follow up with his team and to see really how engaged he is, because we're just driven by impact. And I'm sure you're the same way, Eli. Like we as in the enablement community are here to enable sales to be more productive. I'm at my core, and at Aslan's core, we are here to serve. We are here to be other centered. And so when we figured out that we've unlocked something that makes people more efficient and actually makes them more productive so they can enhance their relationships, save time, and make more money, it's a fun job. It's a fun job.
Oh, great. Really, really great stories, great successes. There is a question which I think is a good one and would love folks to just respond in the chat. I think someone's already responded, but we've got a cross section of industries here that Aslan is helping be successful. Curious, your industries right now. What industries are you in, and what are you seeing with AI in your industry? So feel free to use the chat and let us know. And so we've talked about your strategy, we've talked about your use cases, we've talked about your skills, your behaviors. We've even heard some great stories. What do you think? You think we're ready to show people kind of your new world, your reimagined sales training with Aslan Plus?
Okay.
Here we go.
Awesome. Are we
Boom.
live?
I see Tom. I see the homepage. Jesse, take it away.
Awesome. So what you're seeing is our new imagined, AI powered coaching and enablement tool. And so on this tool, at any time you can learn, right, like a typical LMS, but way deeper than that. Our courses are reimagined. Learning is not linear anymore. There's courses, there's videos, there's examples, there's articles, there's AI exercise, there's podcasts, and everything is curated by each skill. I think this is really important. Most people just like have a big map or a big database. Here's everything you can learn, but they don't necessarily have things that you can go out and practice. And so we have tons of practice activities within here that are, rep, can self-enroll. We have a lot of strivers and achievers out there that don't want to wait for managers to coach them. They just want to go out there and do some work. So give them the tools, invest in them. This is a tool that can do that. And then third, this is a tool that can provide just-in-time resources. We have people that are in the field on the calls. They have all these Groks and, co-pilots and all these AI tools that are cool, but are they really driving a certain client interaction for what I'm about to walk in for? And so here you can see what our methodology is. Again, all about how do you engage, discover, build value, advance. We've curated a site that has resources, examples, learning paths, and then you kind of have the Netflix scroll of AI and all the different skills to learn. We can get into that. Let's be specific here on one use case and really what people are here to see. And that's all about kind of the AI role play. So let's say I want to build value. All right, I'm ready to sell a deal. I'm ready to kind of highlight a new product. I'm ready to, engage people in a new way and get them really excited about my recommendation. But before I do that, there's different stages to how you build value, right? Because you're either looping it back to what you learned in Discover. Let me connect my recommendation. Or I'm really focused on the product, the solution. How am I going to contrast it against their status quo or the competition? How can I emotionally engage them through success stories? And how can I handle objections? And so again, all this is curated here. You'll see practice activities. You'll see articles they've never read, examples from their field, podcasts, like everything is here and there's something for every learner. But let's say that in this instance, we really want to practice handling objections. Okay. So if you click on handling objections, you're about to walk into a tough merchant, tough customer, somebody that's not going to be easy. So you might want to review some videos, some examples, some articles, take a little test, run some activities. All these are things that you can do, or you might actually want to practice it. And so here is kind of this AI coach where you can sit there in your own
concern
in your own
and
room. Sorry about that. In your
all
own
good.
room, from your mobile device, from your tablet, on the road, doesn't really matter. You kind of film yourself. So let me actually let me show you the whole thing. So I'm going to unshare and reshare on a video, just so you can see how fast the AI can respond, really how the whole thing operates. So
yeah, Jesse, while you're doing that, I just want to say it's so well organized. Like it's beautiful. Like the page, the experience, you've got your branding, you've got, everything is right there. You've got everything is just in time. So just kudos. We're going to talk about your design philosophy afterwards, but I was just doing a little dance while you were getting your demo ready.
that was a good dance. Not
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Awesome. Thank you for the compliment. So let's watch this video. I want to really call out in parentheses, it is titled Bad Objection Handling. So Elay, do not judge me. All right. I'm pretty good at objection handling, but we wanted to do a bad one to see how the AI graded it. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know if the sound is coming through.
Hey, look, totally makes sense that you want to think about it. If I were you, I'd want to think about it as well. And look, at the end of the day, I don't really think there's that much to think about, though. This is a no-brainer for your business. You're going to do incredible. And honestly, I don't see why you don't like this product. Is there any reason you don't like it after everything I said to you? Come on, let's make it happen.
Come on. I love it.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah. But
So as
let's see what the AI says.
Yeah, so as you can see, after you go ahead and do it, within about 5 seconds, AI is going to populate both a quantitative and qualitative feedback. And so you can see at the top, it's quantitative. It needs to be quantitative so we can track, are they improving and getting better over time? And so it's not only doing that, it's doing some communication feedback. It's getting what are my key phrases. And then it's giving me a ton of qualitative feedback. What did I do well? Because I need to know what I should keep doing. And then what can I do better? And I love how detailed this gets. I love that it doesn't just say, hey, be better, or you should be better listener. You should go into, this talk track. It actually will give you specific ideas
Yeah.
and specific language of, hey, maybe try this next time. And hey, at
I
this
don't,
timestamp, try this.
Jesse, I don't think managers are giving their teams this much detailed feedback in real life.
They don't have time to. They would love to. I think managers would love to. I think some of them have the skills to do it. The reality is they don't have the time to, and they don't see the ROI on it. And so I always talk about ROT. What's the greatest return on your time? Well, this is, right? Like this is that greatest return on your time. And some of the other things I love about this, Elay, is you'll see here this button on the left where it says kind of retake. This is a safe sandbox. And so
Yeah.
I got a 4.7. I don't want to submit this to my manager. I'm not proud of this. Or I just botched it because I don't know how to talk to myself and I'm not comfortable. So I can retake this as many times as I want in a safe sandbox, and my manager won't even see it till I click submit pitch. And
Mm.
so when I submit pitch, I will have gotten 3 different times, you know, 3 different pieces of feedback, and I've gotten better each time. And some people are like, but yeah, don't managers want to see that? Managers just want to know that they are practicing. Managers just want to know that their team is getting better. And so if you can somehow convince your team to practice this 3 times, I don't think they're going to be mad about it at all. What do you think, Eli? What do you think?
Listen, I love what you're doing at ASLAN, and I think the AI coaching is really the future of how we're going to get our teams to be more productive, and I love it. The return on time, that is phenomenal, right? And great concept. But boom, here we go. So everything we've talked about up until now, you've just kind of brought it to life by showing us one skill, one behavior, one conversation, and I bet you this salesperson got more feedback from that AI that one time than they probably did all year long. I could be
And
wrong.
and whoever this salesperson was, he has learned a lot since then. He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that. And so we'll give a prompt like, hey, how would you handle the objection? I want to think about it. We'll give you a reminder of some of the methodology. How do you isolate objections, right? And then AI will give you this feedback. And so not only will AI give you that feedback, it's all right here. So you can always go back into it. Everything on the site is private. So it's just yours and your manager can see it. And then what's cool is your manager gets to grade it. And so we're actually finding that managers are easier graders than the AI. And so we're finding some of this, like, it's actually helping managers grade better because a lot of them are like, yeah, it's good. I'll give nines. And then they
Yeah.
like go ahead and they read the AI score and they look at the feedback and they're like, wow, I missed all that. And so I'd say that's one of the big learnings, the big disruptive
Yeah.
truth about this is we're not just helping the reps, we're actually helping the managers
And an
become stronger as well.
unintended benefit of the AI coaching is we're making managers better managers because they're seeing what good looks like when it comes to feedback. Because
Absolutely.
they've never been trained, Jesse, right? For the most
Yeah.
part, they've never been trained. We've been doing this for a long time, right? You know, sales, so we've been around for almost 12 years, and kind of the AI, the pitch, I mean, has always been a core use case for us. But the feedback has always been, you know, well, the managers aren't really watching the videos, or the managers aren't really giving feedback. We look at the data, there'd be a lot of good job, good job, good job. This is it. This is completely reimagined sales training, sales feedback, sales coaching, and you guys are on the forefront. Really, really, really great here. That's amazing. And but wait, there's
Yeah.
more.
There is more. I want to show one more thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Let's see it.
yeah, I think it is impactful. Like managers sometimes know to coach, but they only know what they know. And so like a lot of managers fall into the trap of I'm going to coach you to be more like me. But like that doesn't work for everybody. And so AI is kind of calibrating best practices across
Okay.
everyone. So that's the AI coach. It's you 1-on-0, just you and yourself. And AI is going to give you that live feedback. We're reinforcing, we're launching products, we're fine tuning and upskilling ourselves. But let's say we want to like actually talk to another person. And so we don't have time because these are like more 5-10 minutes, like longer conversational role plays. But I
Yeah.
do want to at least show how easy it is to set up one of these AI role plays. And so if we were under this build value scenario where we talk about like, hey, you are having a conversation with this VP. Here's what you learned and discover. Like, go ahead. How would you, present your recommendation? You can see, you got a little AI persona and you can change who's that persona, what's their voice, like what they look like, all those things. But
Yeah.
for my enablement people on here, like how easy is this to edit? How easy is this to scale? It used to take me a couple hours to build. They take me about a half hour now, Eli.
Got it.
It's pretty awesome. You can change the language, you can change the job title, who you're talking to. You have up to 5,000 characters as to like how much you want to build out the scenario and who that persona is and what they learn. And you can basically predict what are the questions you want the AI persona to tell you, what are the objections you want the AI persona to do.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just like, this is a real person. So these are the 4 lines you're guaranteed to get. Everything else is like, we're going to
So
see what happens. And that's
this
like
is
what's so fun about the conversational intelligence that's coming.
so everyone listen, here's what's going on here. You know, Jesse is now flip personas. He's an administrator, a publisher, an enablement practitioner, a marketer, whoever is actually creating these scenarios. And if you scroll to the top, I think what's amazing here is it's not black box, Jesse, right? It's pretty, you pick your language, you're picking the persona, You're picking the AI persona that you're going to be speaking with. I love your scenario, and I think we'll get into some detail around this scenario. That's where AI prompt engineering really comes into play, or the AI literacy. And I think the this is why we're not going to be replaced. But we need to learn how to use AI in the right way so we can scale. Oh, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Sorry. There was
Oh, sorry about that.
no,
You're
no,
good.
okay. One more thing, and I just want, because there was a question in the chat, and we can very easily. You can also see the questions and the objections. So for any convers scroll down to please, any conversation, you can identify questions and objections. So the question in the chat was, hey, could you integrate objection handling with the presentation, or could you integrate objection handling with a call or discovery? Absolutely. You can, Jesse, what did you say? You can make it, there's a spectrum of how hard you can make it, because you can make them be, you can make the persona be a jerk if you want, right? Like,
Yeah,
you do
and
the
I
cold
and I put
call.
I put 4 different skills in this one. So this incorporates the full presentation, which is not just let me pitch it. It's like I'm going to handle different objections. I'm going to get different questions back. Like you're really simulating what a real conversation sounds like.
No, absolutely. And then down below, you've got this is amazing, the instructions, and you can attach documents. Wow. Like, just kudos, Jesse and Aslan. And I think we are so grateful that you took the time to walk us through it. And I'll put a link in there. But if anyone does want a deeper dive demo, you want to learn more about Aslan Plus and other centered selling, like please, we're here to help make those connections. And if anyone does want to learn more about AI role play and run a trial or a POC, we're here to support you as well. This is really the best of both worlds, the best of both worlds. Jesse, what else in the demo were we going to show, or is that it?
I think that was the teaser. We didn't want to go too
Beautiful.
deep. We wanted to make sure we kind of engage them. We showed how the AI can work.
Yeah.
But we've learned a lot so far, Eli. I would say like just in these last 8 months, like we've had some things go well. We've had some things not go so well. And so what we've learned is no matter how cool this is,
Yeah.
it still doesn't mean reps are just going to turn around and want to role play all day, every day. Like you have to tie it to something that is in their best interest. And so, like, how can we tie AI role play to a product launch that they're compensated on, right? How can you tie AI coach to developing a set of skills that we already know the top reps do so that they can make more revenue and enhance their relationships? And so I want to be really clear, like, how can you tie this to something that matters to them is important. And then the second really big thing we've learned is this will ride or die on the managers. Like if the managers don't go first and the managers aren't all in and they're not talking about this in their team meetings and their one-on-one,
Yeah.
you're hoping it's going to go well. So we are all in on managers first. Like real change happens at the front line. And so if you are a frontline leader, then you are truly the most important person in your company. You drive the most change. And so that's why as enablement leaders, we try to really empower you.
No, it's great. Those are great lessons learned. And I think there's a little bit more. There's a question around time to readiness. What have you observed with your customers around time to readiness, time to conversational readiness with folks that are now using this modern learning, this modern training, coaching AI experience? What have you observed?
Well, how would you define readiness? Like
That's
they're using it all the time, or
I'm talking, so that's a great question, right? Because the better answer, and I asked it just open-ended, and you're kind of leading me a little bit with the answer, depending on the role, right? And depending on what specific leading indicator metrics you want to measure, that's really, what we've seen, just to give an example, like some of our customers that are using the AI pitch and the AI role play for business development, BDR, SDR training, they're seeing that role. They're able to get on the phone, schedule meetings within 2 weeks when normally it would take 6 to 8 weeks. So that's a 80% drop in the amount of time it takes kind of those front of the funnel, those business development sales reps. But it's gonna, like, if you're an enterprise seller, you're gonna have a different schedule. But we're seeing anywhere from 40 to 80% drop in time to readiness. But I'll let you answer it now that you've heard me kind of share my insight.
yeah, and readiness, I feel like can go a lot of different ways based on what you're using it for. Obviously, we're trying to reinforce a sales training that kind of revolutionizes their entire sales approach. And so we do a lot of B2B sales. And so that doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just like do a training and tell people to do AI role play and
Yeah.
everything changes. And so I would say we're seeing real change somewhere in the 3 to 6 month mark, where we're starting to see some of those leading KPIs turn into lagging KPIs. But yeah, there's a lot of places where readiness and comfort level with AI is making an impact. I think onboarding is a big one, and that's like rate to ramp. The other one is like product launch. We're seeing a big difference in like what is your confidence as well as what are the results in product launch. The other thing is like overall rep engagement. People are like more engaged at work, more talkative, sharing more things, having more fun.
Which that does have an impact on turnover and on rep attrition, because if folks believe from a cultural perspective and from a company perspective that they're being invested in, and so they'll stay engaged. Engagement is, let's not undersell that. That's important.
No, one of the things on the ENPS score is like, do I believe my company is investing in?
Yeah.
And most businesses get a low number for that. So we're already seeing in the few companies that are already asking that, it's like they are thankful that they are getting that investment. And then one that's kind of a hidden gem here is that it's actually in some of our clients increasing CRM adoption and like CRM hygiene. More people are using CRM. So one thing we didn't talk about is ASLAN Plus is fully integrated into CRM. And so if you're on Salesforce, you don't have to click onto another app. It is embedded and it's iframed within your Salesforce, and it can read certain fields and help you in certain ways. And so reps weren't excited to go to Salesforce because they felt like they had to. But now that they have a tool that actually makes them better, they want to go onto Salesforce. And so
like if I'm on stage 2 of an opportunity and that's pre-discovery call, that's your discovery AI pitch or coach role play can be there with the rep while they're updating Salesforce. And it could also, that's what you mean when you say it's embedded in Salesforce.
Yeah, there's two different kinds, right? There's kind of the proactive way where AI is kind of like seeing what pipeline stages you're doing and then proactively recommending, hey, based on what your next stage is, you should think about this article or this exercise or this AI role play.
Yeah.
But then the other one is like self-enrolled. Like I'm just a rep and I have admin stuff to do every Monday. Like let me just like look on ASLAN Plus and figure out like what is my development item for this week. And that's accessible through Salesforce, not on another link. And every salesperson hates more links, hates more bookmarks, hates the SSO Okta that has 30 tiles on it now, so having it all in one place really is the future. And that was something we did not predict was going to be such a driver, but we're stoked about it.
Yeah. There's a question around will AI, I know you brought it up early, will AI replace jobs? And whether it's there's AI for SDRs, will it replace SDRs? There's AI for role playing, will it replace real coaches or trainers? There's AI for deal reviews. Like there's all these different AI agents that are out there now. What's your take? Like, are we, and I've got an answer that I'll share after, but I'm curious what your perspective is on, how AI will impact the job market and roles in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, we could go in a lot of different directions on this conversation, so I'm excited to riff here. I always think about like, if you think you're replaceable, right? Like if you think you're replaceable, you probably will be replaced, right? If you take pride in your job and you find ways to invest in your development and stay ahead and be a true expert in your field, and as we say, not just be a sales rep to them, but be a trusted partner, not just be a relationship manager, but add value, you're not going to get replaced because there's so much noise out there. Somebody needs help sifting through it. And so you want to be that person. And so within our industry, we started to get scared, is AI going to replace it? But AI is not replacing adult learning. People still need to learn with others and they need to learn in an interactive way. But it is replacing or optimizing some of the ways we reinforce it and talk about it and kind of make things more efficient. So what I get really excited about is just how like customer and personalized, it's customer specific and personal specific the future is going to get. Right now, all of our stuff is like, here are the scenarios I came up with, here's the scenarios I customized. But imagine a world where I could just drag in a LinkedIn profile and be like, customize it according to this. Or imagine a world where AI is following me and understands, hey, you normally stink at these things. I'm going to proactively recommend this. And so there is this kind of proactive and level 2 of how quickly we can iterate everything. But no, I'm not afraid of it replacing me. I'm actually excited about it enhancing my role. But
And it
yeah,
has. Look at
yeah,
you. You've got superpowers. AI is now Jesse's new superpower. So
yeah.
let me share a little bit of data. I think I'll just you know, I agree with the philosophy. So real data in 2024, uh, there was kind of the enablement team took a hit. And we witnessed about a 45% decline in enablement headcount in our install base. So that meant like 45% of enablers were let go. Like it's terrible. It's terrible and feel for every one of those people, right? But on the flip side, with AI and AI coaching, we saw a 247% increase in AI-driven delivered coaching to reps and managers. So just think about that data for a second. So organizations are now, and enablement folks are now, when they lean into AI and they know how to use it the right way, they're doing more with less, and they're delivering faster, better value. And whether it's AI for role playing, or whether it's AI for content recommendations, or whether it's AI for scheduling meetings, or whether it's AI for research. How you doing with the sun? You okay?
I'm good. I'm good. Keep going.
Okay. But I think great question. Great question. Let's keep it real, Jesse. Let's highlight something that didn't go well, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, I think everybody's always talking about adoption, right? How can
Yeah.
you get people to adopt change? And there are stages to adoption, right? And with any change management. And I think if you shortcut any of those stages within change management and any of the different parties, and whether you're following a RACI model or you're trying to launch things and track it according to Kirkpatrick, like there's a lot of different processes out there. But we shortcutted that process because we let the client truthfully dictate what that experience should look like. And so we
Ah,
always talk about like we own the learner because we are the learning experts. You
yeah.
own the culture, but we need to each speak up for what matters for each of us and find a way in the middle. And so we fell to the classic fault of like the customer's always right. Oh, you want to speed it up, you want to launch it with this thing, you want to do it in that way, let's do it. But because we didn't take the 3 steps to launch it with the managers first, to figure out how to assign something, to customize it, to integrate it, because we didn't take our time, adoption was 10 to 20% instead of 80 to 90%. And now we're fighting uphill
Ah.
to convince people and push them. And that just doesn't feel good, right? We wanted to have that to be a pull. So we've learned a lot through adoption. And I'm
So
glad I got that experience.
what would
Yeah.
you, yeah, listen, I've been there many times. So now, how do you handle that you know that? And what are you doing differently when you bring on a new customer, or when you're rolling on a new program, or when you're introducing, a new AI coach? How do you get over that?
Yeah, great question. So I think it starts with the who, right? Like who is announcing that, and who is your internal champion? And if it's at a manager level, that's okay. But like the VP or the head of training might have said yes to it, but they need to be the one driving it, right? Like we need to have some sort of internal champion that introduces this, that teases this, that explains the why behind this,
Yeah.
right? So that's the first big step. The second one is like manager involvement, and that's like not just like, hey, show up, look at this tool. Do you like this tool? But like, how can you get managers to engage in it, practice it, get bought in, reply to the chat? What's one way you can commit to doing that? Like, we need a level of accountability with the managers. And then third, you have to actually launch it with the reps, walk them through it, get them excited, not just send them a login. And then I think there's fourth, and this is company dependent, but there needs to be some reason for them to go on in the first 7 days, the first 14 days. So
Yeah.
one assignment, one email to them, one push notification of try this AI role play. Because if you give them a site where they can do anything, they'll do nothing,
Yeah.
right? So I think with internal champion, starting with managers, launch it to the reps, and then have one assignment. Those are kind of the 4 basic steps we've seen. And obviously there's details within that that have really changed the game for us.
Wow. You know what? So much insight, Jesse, and just congrats. Like you're I know you're in the middle of it, but you don't appreciate, well, maybe you do. Let me restate that. Let me restate that, Jesse. I think I want you to know how advanced you are and Aslan is, and what you've created with Aslan Plus. And I know, given everyone here on the call, all the comments, it's really remarkable. And I know we're just getting started.
We're
We're
just getting
just getting
started.
started. And again, I put links in the chat. If anyone is interested in learning more about other-centered selling, reach out. And I know that the crew at Aslan Plus will reach out to you as well. If anyone is interested in a AI role play ebook, the link is there. You get full details. If anyone's interested in a demo, a POC, we're here to support you any way you can. So if your problem is sales training, boom, let's get you connected with Jesse and the crew. Let's get him coming to your kickoff and then rolling out sales training and rolling out the AI the way that he's shown you and talked to you. But let's take a moment before we sign off. The future, the future, the future, the future. This thing is moving so fast. It's crazy. You know what? It's moving so fast. What does the future look like for you? The
You
future of
know,
AI as it relates to sales training, and
I was,
because I know that
I was
was a
gonna say,
bigger
I was gonna
question, right?
say the future. You have to ask my wife. Like
I
she
know,
she
I
holds the
know, I
keys
know, I
more on
know.
my future. No, I think there's a lot of things going on. I always think of it from, right now it feels like reactive AI. I need to go actually like and practice something to get feedback. And there will be a world of proactive AI where you can, opt in for it to follow you, to listen to you and provide, things on the go. But I just think about it as mobile. I think right now we're very tied to like a lot of the best development is on a computer screen and you have to sign up for it. And so I'm really excited about the future of mobile. I'm excited about the future of customization, how easy it is to apply it to customer profiles and connect it to your Salesforce. I'm really excited about just finding ways to make it more product and
Yeah,
conversationally intelligent. So those are a few of the things that are coming to my head. But you live this, right? You're the one
I
that
live
built
it,
this
man.
baby. So I'm sure you're thinking about it. You got this is at the
Well,
1 2.0. Like, where are we going?
we're co-creating this future together. And so again, thank you. We as we look ahead, I think your demo is beautiful, right? It's a beautiful UI and it's organized and structured. I'm seeing where we're going with this thing, that we're gonna basically have a voice mode, and you're gonna have a very adaptive agent that is going to follow you around. Right now, it's in Salesforce. It lives in your Google Chrome. It shows up in your email. It shows up in SalesHood. It shows up in ASLAN. But I think we're gonna have a voice mode, just like Siri on the phone, right? And it's just
Yep.
gonna be
Yep.
like, you know, hey Eli, I'm pretending this is AI speaking to me, and I noticed today you've got a meeting with, and it'll be very fluid in its ability to adapt to specifically the scenario that you want, and it is going to be 100% voice. And so we're quickly getting there, and we're getting there together. And I think these are important steps that we're taking together in the industry. And I think, but we're doing the foundation right now. We're helping organizations with change management, and you're doing an amazing job across so many industries with your customers. And we're pulling in these salespeople, managers together. And then when we layer on top of it voice mode, and when it's going to be completely adaptive, like that's the future. And that future I described ain't too far away. Like
Yeah, I don't think so.
no,
Yeah.
it's not too far away. And I think I can see there will be, last point, and then we're gonna wind down. There will be so many AI agents out there for things that we haven't even thought of. I think that's the thing. In 12 months from now, AI is gonna do things for us that we haven't even dreamed of today. And
Yeah.
that's where I think and that's why this is so exciting. Really, 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 really is. Jesse, any final words? Boom. Imagine that you're speaking to like an enabler, or you're speaking to a CRO or a CEO or a president of a company, and they're like, should I really do this? Is this real? Like, what would you tell them?
Yeah. I always say like change is hard, right? But if you change nothing, nothing will change. And so you have to decide what you want to change about your organization. Do you want to be able to move faster? Do you want to open up more time for sales managers so that they can spend more time on driving revenue? Do you want to be able to hire and ramp faster? And so if all these things are true and you want the technology, but also the methodology to do that, Aslan is a great partner. SalesHood is a great partner. And so we are here. Feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn, listen to our podcast, and most importantly, just go to our website and check us out. And if you feel like we could be a good trusted partner for you and help your organization, go ahead and reach out. Would love to have a further chat with you. Connect with me on LinkedIn. It doesn't end here, Eli. It does
It
not
doesn't
end
end
here.
here. We are thankful for you, Jesse. You really kind of wowed us today with your knowledge and your experience and your lessons learned. And I just want to thank you and the entire team at ASLAN for a great partnership. Anyone wants a demo, you got the link. It's down below in the it's down below. If anybody is interested in a trial or POC, we're here for you. And you know what? Let's continue reimagining sales training in the world of coaching with AI together. Super thankful to you.